Hi everybody, this is Kristen from A Voice and a View, and I'm sorry I haven't been available here the last couple days, but now I have a little bit more time and my days are freed up a little more, so I will be posting hopefully more in the earlier in the day instead of so late at night. But before I start, I just wanted to say thank you for all my views and all of my followers, all your likes, shares, follows, comments, and I really appreciate it, and I hope my information helps you understand a little bit more about not only spirituality but how the realms work. And I didn't know this for most of my life, guys, but so much information is revealed to me through my guides, my spirit team, through spirit, through God, my angels, my ancestors. And there's some important information that I know is important for you to know, but your ancestors want you to know. Okay? Is that your actions affect your ancestors. So that is going to be the healing lesson today. Oh, look at Cleo. Say hi. My pup. Excuse me. So I'm going to start out the video with everything that you do down here on this plane, on the earth plane, affects your ancestors. Okay, it not only affects your passed on ancestors, but it also affects future generations in your bloodline. And you may not realize this or believe this, but it's 100% true, guys. And you may think that you're down here, doing it alone, that, you have free choice, which you do. We all have free choice and free will to do what we do in this lifetime. Do what we want. But your actions affect everything and everyone. And I've talked about going through this healing process, opening up your chakras, doing the shadow work, healing yourself from the inside out, understanding about energy, about how we all have dark and light energy, and that it's important to find a balance within yourself. And I've shown how to do this through meditation, through being in nature, through prayer, through grounding. There's so many different ways to heal. Okay, but to come to an understanding of how the realms work and the communication that you can have with the higher realms when you do this healing work, because you do have the ability to do it. You just have to put in the work. And it's not easy. It's not easy. But it's so rewarding. And there's so many challenges through it, through this game of life that you have to play, that you have to master and go up levels to grow, to evolve, to access other parts of your brain that you might not realize that you can, but you can through this Christ consciousness journey of the Great Awakening. But it is entirely possible. And there are many, many people out there that understand this, that are doing the work. But again, you have to do it. Nobody can do it for you. because you are a sovereign being. And, you can go up or down, depending on your actions, depending on your behaviors and choices, and if you help people or hurt people. It's your choice on which way you go. I've talked about how the chakras explain half the body is under devil energy. The other half is more of a heavenly energy in the God frequency, okay? The heart chakra on up. And the more layers you take off of yourself, the more healing you do, and the more you can access Spirit, God. It is entirely possible to attain that level, that high frequency. So when I talk about the ancestors, they are very aware of your life down here. They're very aware on your actions. If you help others, if you hurt others. They are very aware of your words towards others, gossiping, talking negatively towards others. They're aware of all of it. They watch it all. And everything you say and do is being recorded in the Akashic records. I've mentioned all of this. This is kind of a recap to help you understand about your ancestors and how they view what you're doing down here. But everything is passed through your DNA. And you may not realize it, but you have dormant DNA. DNA that has not been activated. You have that in your body through your bloodline. But the more layers you have on you, the layers of trauma and pain that you've accumulated on your body, internally and externally, okay, all the pain that you've dealt with in your lifetime accrues layers. And when you go through this healing process, you start to lose the layers. One by one. Slowly but surely. Okay, and you might not see an effect right away, but eventually you will. But everything is passed down through your DNA, through your bloodline. And I've said this before as well, that you only access about 10% of your brain. There's a lot more of your brain, guys, that you can access, that you can activate through this process, especially through meditation. And a reminder, I have mentioned many times that meditation can be not just, sitting and closing your eyes and being in a quiet space meditating, but it can also be spending time alone in whatever way you choose to do that. Taking a walk, creative ideas, creative endeavors. I like to dance on the beach, guys. Put my earbuds in and dance. And obviously, not with a ton of people around, but I like to do that. I like to dance alone once in a while and, singing. There's so many things that you can do on your own, whatever your gifts are that you enjoy, to put you in that high frequency. But through all of these things that I have tried to explain to help you with this healing process, understand that each thing you do helps you get closer to enough healing to where you can see through the lies and manipulation and control and the people that wear masks and all of the lies that are happening around you. The more you're going to be able to see it all. For those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Okay, it's a combined process. And I repeat information, I know. But it's so important because if someone hasn't seen my videos, they're not going to know what, all the other information that's important and that's involved in this process. So it will help them make sense of it all. But all of these things that I help teach you, it will help unlock your dormant DNA. All of that past DNA that was in your bloodline, that was in your lineage. And just like a baby starts out perfect, most of the time. A perfect being of God, perfect little soul. And they're so free and happy most of the time and smiling. I know, guys, about little baby and about the crying and whatever, but they have not been programmed yet. They have not been programmed to the outside world, to hurtful experiences, to, manipulation and control, and all of these things that put layers on you, inside and out. The hurtful layers, the trauma. And when you're a baby, you are closest to God. You are on a very high frequency. And as you grow, usually it's in the younger years that, you start changing and losing that connection with the spirit because the outside world is taking over and maybe changing your belief systems. I've mentioned little kids when they have like an invisible friend, an imaginary friend that they talk to, that's not just imaginary, guys. They're not just imagining it. That is spirit guides. Those are angels. That's spirit. We're all a collective of souls, but we're all the same in the spirit. We're all the same in the spirit as a collective, that we're all connected. That's what I mean. But yeah, as you grow, you kind of lose that close connection with God. And my kids, when they were little, they used to talk to the ceiling and laugh and act like they were talking, especially when they were babies. They were talking to the ceiling and they were laughing, But I also remember when they went through the opposite, to where they were scared, to where something was happening around us that was scary to them. So that's another video down the road, I guess. Not for today, but anyways, my point being is that we're all connected. And whether it be in the higher realms or down here, we're all connected. We're all a divine collective. We're all divine beings. And again, depending on your choices, you go up or down. But your DNA is very important. And whether you believe it or not, your choices affect your DNA. Every choice you make affects your DNA, affects your ancestry. And the choices that you make can affect your bloodline down the road, can affect generations to come. It can affect your families, your kids. And this is so important to understand, and I can't say this enough today. Okay? Because we see what's happening out there in the world. People are changing. Some people are not who they used to be. You know, some people have made decisions in their life that have not only affected others, but they've gained attachments, entity attachments, guys, where they might not be able to control their actions. Okay, and all of this information affects your bloodline. Affects, like I said, passed on ancestors, as well as generations to come in your family, in your bloodline, your heritage. I've talked about everyone having an energy signature to them, and we all do. And whether that's more in the dark or the light, that's up to you. But it's not always totally up to you, okay? Because karma is involved with this as well. And you might believe that karma is only after you pass on. Or you might believe that it's in this lifetime that you receive karma, and in this lifetime only. That's not the case. Karma can be passed on in a bloodline and to generations to come, guys. This is a serious message. Everything you do here, your choices, your words, your actions, affect your bloodline, your families, your kids, and generations to come. And you might have to come back in another lifetime to repay karma. It's very real. You know, karma is real. Oh, I don't know if you just heard that, but a semi went by and just blew its horn really loud. And that's a confirmation, guys. Spirit works in amazing ways as confirmations. But Spirit just confirmed that for me. And I've learned this as well. So, you know, I have conversations with Spirit, and my spirit guides show me a lot of information, and you know, you eventually come to a point where it's like a knowing, okay, where you just know. But anyways, I'm going to get back to the karma, okay? Karma is what you put out into the universe, your energy, whatever decisions and actions you make that you put out into the world. That could be karma, good karma, or, well, karma would be, you could have bad karma or good karma, which is called dharma. Okay? But your actions affect everyone around you. And the energy signatures that everyone has, guys, and this is another serious message. We all have an energy signature to us, dark or light, or both. Well, everybody has both, but some more dark than others. And through the actions that you have made in your life. You may have gotten away with whatever you're doing for a long period of time or for a short period of time. And you think you can keep doing these things over and over and over again? Everything is God's timing. God will let you go a long time without doing anything about actions you're taking on others. Or He might send you a direct message through karma right away. That's his choice. I don't get involved in that. I'm just explaining to you about what I know, about what I've experienced, what I've learned, what I see. Okay, but your karma, by your actions, affects everyone around you. And that dark energy, if you're working more in the dark energy, that dark energy that is attached to you will attach to the people that are around you. Let me say that again. The energy that, the dark energy that you have accumulated on yourself will attach to others around you. It's very important for you to understand this, because your karma or dharma will affect your families, will affect your kids, guys. If anyone in your life is trying to control you in any way, is trying to hurt you in any way, is trying to manipulate you in any way, you need to get away from that person. It's very important for you to put distance from yourself, or to put distance from that person. Okay? This is how energy works. It's why I'm on here, to help you understand about energy and healing. Because the healing that you do is going to affect your whole family. Everyone in your family that is around you. And your bloodline. Past and present and future. You have to do enough healing work that you come back to 0 point energy. Okay? To be centered within yourself, within that, within your heart, within that inner flame where God lives within you. Go in and do the shadow work. Ask forgiveness. Be truthful about it, because God knows when you're lying. Ask forgiveness. Resolve what you need to resolve. Make amends with the people that you need to make amends with. Hold accountability. So important. And forgiveness for yourself and others. No matter how hard it is, guys. When you do this work, when you go in and you see those areas of your heart that have been in a hurtful energy, and go in and see those wounds, see them and feel through them. Let all of that negative shadow and energy out of you through your tears, through your emotions. Let it out, and do that one thing at a time, one trauma at a time, to help heal yourself and to get that darkness off of you. And it's now more than ever, guys, it's so important. When you look around you and you see chaos, this is the dark energies working. And dark energies that attach to people that might not even realize it, guys. They might not even be able to control themselves because they have entity attachments. We are the vessel. We are not the vessel. Okay, we are not the body. We are the soul. We are the spirit. The divine collective. Which is why when someone yawns, everybody else yawns around you. It's the best example I can give to help you understand that we're all connected in the spirit. But our ancestors are watching, and they're taking notes on what you're doing down here. And if you think you're doing it all by yourself and just doing whatever you want, and it's only going to affect you, that is 100% wrong. When you stay in the dark energies and don't heal within yourself what you need to heal, that gets passed on through the DNA. Trauma passes on through the DNA. And the best example I can give you is if alcoholism runs in your family, you are more susceptible to becoming an alcoholic. Our DNA is complicated, guys, but it's so complex. And not only that, but the darkness within your bloodline, within yourself, passes on to your families, to the next generation, and to generations to come. So the more trauma you have within you, and you have kids, it's passing down to them. You know, you may be thinking, why have I been like this my whole life? You know, why do I have all of this anxiety? And, you know, ever since I can remember, I've had to deal with this anxiety and whatever. That stuff is passed on, guys. It's passed on, and hoping the next ancestor clears the karma, clears the trauma within the bloodline. I am a generational curse breaker, and I know that there are many others that are doing this work. But your ancestors that have passed on are watching everything you do. Because that all of your actions affect them. You know, when we reincarnate, you know, we do. And you may have different beliefs, guys, but this is what I'm shown. These are my beliefs. These are things that I have seen. We reincarnate. Lifetime after lifetime. You know, this is just another human experience And we all have many. It's part of, the learning process. Learning lessons, experiencing things. It's all part of the process. But your DNA affects everything. And you can change your trajectory. That could be a hard word to say. You can activate dormant DNA. You can change everything within your body and outside of your body. Whatever you carry outside of your body. You can change everything by going within and healing yourself. And it takes time, but over time, you're going to see a huge difference. I've done this process and I know. And I've dealt with a situation with one of my children. I've had to be frustrated and help her through her struggles with what she deals with on a daily basis, okay? But those struggles that she has also affect the family, and it can be stressful and overwhelming. And this journey that I started that I didn't realize that I was even starting, one day I just did enough healing within myself that I didn't feel anxiety anymore. Well, for the most part. I didn't feel that anxiety of watching, of how do I want to put that? She has a memory issue, and she can repeat things over and over a lot, and it can be, I struggled with it. Not only seeing her struggle and not being able to resolve her issues, but struggling as a parent within myself to be able to be calm enough to help, be able to help her and not push more struggle onto her, not push so much frustration onto her through me, and for me to make it worse. I was really having a hard time with it all at a certain point. And once I started doing this healing work on my own, one day I was in the same situation again, and I didn't have a problem anymore. I didn't have the anxiety like I used to. And it kept happening over and over again, where I was put in the same situation and I didn't feel that anxiety and that feeling of being overwhelmed on how I reacted is my point to her. Okay? So I wasn't pushing out my frustration onto her. I felt myself relaxing. I felt myself almost like it just went right over my shoulder. And I was able to help her and talk to her in a calm voice and not let it affect me like it used to. Okay, and I mean, this doesn't always happen, guys. I'm a parent. I'm like everybody else as a parent. You get frustrated at times. Trying to teach them the right way, and if they're not listening, we all go through the same things. But for the most part. I can stay pretty calm now. When I am asked a question or over and over again because of her memory, I can react from a good place, from a calm space. And actually, I just had an incident yesterday at the laundromat where she was really frustrating me. Oh my gosh. But for the most part, it has helped me. This process has helped me so much in being calm and not reacting off of frustration or anger or, those negative energies. It has brought me into a balance to where I can make good decisions, to where I can process and not react so much right away. And it has also helped her to not feel so, like she's putting a lot onto me, to where she's not it has lowered a lot of her frustration because she was working off of my frustration. Okay, because we are a mirror to each other. All of us are mirrors to each other, to everyone we are down here with in our experiences. We are a mirror to them. And whatever we heal within ourselves, we heal others with. Okay, so if you're dealing with something in your life that's trying to tell you something, it's trying to show you something. Like that video game, guys. It's complicated, but there's levels of healing. So this is a strong message today about energy and about your DNA and about your ancestors and your lineage. Everything you do down here affects not only everyone down here and your close members, family members, and friends around you, but it also affects your ancestors that have passed on, that are watching everything you do down here. And they're either cheering you on or it's the opposite. So make them proud, guys. Make them proud and make your changes. Just by you being aware of this information might help you make different decisions. It might make you start healing yourself, to start looking within. There we go, confirmation, guys. Another semi, I think that was oh, look at that. It was a red, white, and blue with a flag on it. Yeah, I love that. I'm a patriot, guys. I'm all about the flag. But just know that when you heal your lineage. You heal your ancestors. And you heal generations to come. And let me tell you guys, right now it's all about the kids. The kids need direction. They need healing. They need your help. Because when you heal, you also heal them. And you heal your DNA. Be amazed, guys. Our bodies are powerful. And the mind is especially powerful. As well as our hearts. And when you live in loving energy, and you want to help others, and you want to heal, you get away from that negative devil energy. You work your way up through the chakras. Meditate. Ground yourself. Heal. Be in nature as much as possible. Everything is an energy exchange. And you are not separate from God. God is here within you. Here, okay? And your pineal gland is your Wi-Fi signal. And the more you heal, the more you activate your brain. It's all those areas that you've never been able to access. And you can communicate with the natural world. Spirit will send you signs. Your angels will send you signs. You know, it's an amazing experience. This has taken me a long time. But I know there's others that are in this process as well, and they're able to do it. Light workers. There are many light workers here. I just saw 414 on the clock, guys. I had to squint because I got my contacts in. Sometimes when I do videos, I take my glasses off and I'll do my video because far away without my glasses on, well, about right here, I can see pretty clear. But it's just the opposite with contacts. The further away I get, it's like, yeah, I gotta squint and I gotta put my cheaters on. So, you know, my little cheaters. Did you see my eyes? They look like bug eyes. Anyways, drives my daughter nuts when I say that. My cheaters. She's like, Mom, the glasses. I'm like, they're my cheaters. So anyways, guys, hope this information helped today, and I hope you start doing some of this work and start healing yourself from the inside out and make your ancestors proud. It all helps. It all helps. Make the world go round. Helps generations to come. And your kids, guys, your kids, for sure. All right, guys. I love you all. This is Kristen from A Voice in a View. Peace, love, and light. Love you all. Bye.